In our top story, a criminal case has been initiated over the crash of an Azerbaijan airline plane in Kazakhstan. Aktau, 38 of the 67 people on board lost their lives, leaving 29 survivors. Ilham Aliyev, president of Azerbaijan, said that the public will be regularly informed about the results of the commission's work and the progress of the criminal case. The flight in Emperor 190 was en route Azerbaijan capital of Baku to the Russian city of Gry in the North Caucasus. The plane's course on the flight radar website showed it flying away from its normal route, crossing the Caspian Sea and then circling over the area where it eventually crashed near Aktau, which is an oil and gas hub on the eastern shore of the sea, the reports claim. While near Gry, which was the flight's destination, surviving passengers heard an explosion followed by what looked like shot hitting the plane and entering the fuselage. The reports quoted a Russian military blogger who said that the damage to the aircraft suggested that the plane may have been struck by an air defense missile system. Gry is heavily defended as Kadyrov Chin fighters are extremely important to the Kremlin and high value target to the Ukrainians. Azerbaijan president declared a day of national mourning and cancelled a planned visit to Russia for an informal summit of the leaders of Commonwealth of Independent States, which is a grouping of former Soviet nations. Russian President Vladimir Putin held a conversation with Aliyev on the phone and also expressed his condolences in connection with the crash. Later, Putin said that a Russian emergency situation ministry has been sent to Aktau with medical personnel and other equipment. Let me just begin by asking you, with so many conspiracy theories, such as the accident was caused by a bird or whether it was shot down, according to you, what could have been the possible reason for the crash?
First of all, we have to say that the aviation is full of procedures and the safety nets which prevents from the air accidents. So in this case, because we don't have many informations but possible of course, official information is nowadays or during the past hours, and that there was a bird strike. Of course it is a possible reason that they hit the airplane was hit by birds, but of course we've seen and we see many pictures and the photos footages in internet that the possible cause or possibility of the reason of the crush could be unfortunately hit by the projectiles of the guns or the missiles. And unfortunately during the war, because we have the war between the Russia and Ukraine state, there is a huge possibility that it might have been that their craft might have been hit by the projectiles, and I wouldn't reject that reason or possibility of that.
Right, and you happen to be an aviation expert. Is there anything one can derive from the video that has emerged, the witness video and the debris that has been seen so far?
From my experience we can see, especially because the footage was taken at the end of the aircraft, that the vertical stabilizer or the horizontal stabilizer and rud possibly could be hit by the projectiles, unfortunately, but of course I wouldn't reject also the reasons of the bad weather, because we heard that there was a bad weather and the aircraft was circling as so was waiting or was at the position in the holding stack, so there might be a lot of reasons. And of course it has to be checked by the safety investigators, but there is a full package of the possible origin which could occur during that horrible flight and horrible crash in the morning of the Christmas time.
The area where the crash occurred, as you also mentioned, has its importance. Gry is heavily defended as Kadyrov Chin fighters are extremely important to Kremlin, and as well as this area is also where Ukrainian drones have been spotted before. What do you have to say on that?
Yeah, of course, we can read also in internet that the nearest possible airport where the aircraft could land was the Mahawa airport, and unfortunately during that time the Mahawa airport was closed because of the heavy drone activities, the war between Russia and Ukraine and Russia. Unfortunately Mark would use it a full packages of the drones WAVs, UAs in the airspace, so I wouldn't reject even that reason or possible occurrence of that crash, unfortunately.
Right, and also well, there happens to be another incident that took place on December 23. A Russian military cargo ship sank in the Mediterranean Sea, and reports do say that some explosions occurred before it sank. Just to what are your how do you derive this whole accidents happening?
I will tell you from the other part because I in at the beginning of the war in February 2022 and 22 I was running the position of the CEO of Panzer Führer Navigation Services Agency, and I was a part of the team which was responsible for preparing the airspace for the possible airstrike. Unfortunately, when we are during the wartime, we have to be prepared for every possibility. There just 2 days ago, during the Christmas Eve, there was a huge airstrikes, air missile strikes from Russia, probably from Black Sea, towards the Ukraine airspace. So there is a possibility that some kind of miles projectiles could be, unfortunately, flying not according to the trajectory which was planned, but lost of control or something, that kind of reasons. So we have to be prepared in the aviation that in the areas in the earth spaces which are around that horrible conflict, unfortunately, there might occur some kind of accidents, or the lost messes or projectiles.
So of course we know that the black box has been taken into custody, and we don't really have a lot of information of how this happened, but thank you so much for your analysis of the accident. Thanks for watching this video.